everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Claire and this is Yoli. I make videos all about houseplant care, sharing tips and tricks I've learned over the years to help keep your plants happy and healthy. And I'm super excited about today's video. I'm going to be setting up my new greenhouse cabinet that I found for about £20 on eBay, and yeah, showing you kind of everything that I'm doing to keep the plants in there happy. I'll give you a little tour of all the plants that I put in there at the end as well, and then that will be the end of the video. But yeah, I really hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start off by adding grow lights to the cabinet. The ones I've had a bit of a nightmare. So basically the ones that I wanted to use is kind of the main grow light bar here, and I am still going to use, but they're the mother grow lights, and I've spoken about them before. They are honestly hands down the best grow lights I've ever used, and they also just look really snazzy and cool. So they're the ones that I'm going to use as the main one. But the issue I'm having is the person that I got this off on eBay said that they'd measured it very precisely, because I was going to pick it up from them. They said they'd measured it very precisely and it's literally 1 millimeter out. I was hoping that these would just kind of sit perfectly like that, but I don't know if you can tell. They're going to have to either be at a diagonal like that, or they're going to have to just be out by a couple of millimeters, which is really annoying. I've got a lovely friend, the one that actually helped me build my grow light shelf downstairs that I made a video on, and that also had mother grow lights in it. He said that he thinks he might be able to fix a thing on top to kind of mean that they're able to shine down. But for now, I've put this on the back, which is basically just double-sided, really strong sticky tape. So I'm gonna kind of secure them up like that, and then I'm just gonna put some around the sides as well and hope that that holds it. I mean, I think it should. I've had it on other grow lights, I mean, that are not quite as kind of thick as this, but other grow lights for years, and it's been fine. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Thinking about how I could move the camera over so that it's a little bit clearer. There was a little hole in the top here where there was another light before. There was like this little LED thing, and the hole wasn't quite big enough to fit this through. So instead of getting a drill, which is what I should have done, I just got a knife and just kind of twizzled the knife to make it a little bit bigger, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but it's done the job. They come out the top. So I'm just gonna get them out and then attempt to secure this in with the double-sided tape and really hope that it works. So there we go, that feels pretty secure, and actually on camera you can't really tell that it's wonky. If I put the camera kind of more to the front, actually you can't really tell. Maybe it's just me being really anal about it. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to take a little bit more of the double-sided sticky tape and just use it to kind of secure around the edges, just because the last thing I want is the light falling and damaging all of my plants. I was going to say as well, this video is not sponsored or anything, but I do have a discount code for Mother Grow Lights, so I'll pop that. In fact, I'll pop that, and I'll pop pretty much everything I'm using in the description box below. So that's what it's looking like from the front. You can kind of see the tape, but as I say, I'm hoping this is just going to kind of be a temporary measure. And there at the side, you can just see it's not quite straight. I mean, it's kind of, maybe if you didn't know, you wouldn't notice that much, but it's just, for me, not how I would want it in an ideal world. But as I say, it's temporary. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's going to look lovely. I just love the light they produce. Like, some grow lights can look so artificial, like not even the purple ones, just some of the light looks really artificial and it doesn't produce great growth in your plants, whereas these ones are just so great. I honestly cannot rave about them enough. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do for my kind of main grow light setup. My other ones I'm going to use for the lower shelves. I've had them a while. They're just kind of cheapy Amazon ones. They're not awful, but they're just not great. They're just these little ones, and I thought that I could just use them coming down under some of the other shelves. I did think about as well, because obviously these shelves do lift out, I did think about maybe taking the middle shelf out or the bottom shelf and just having one section for really big plants, but I don't know. I mean, because obviously the cabinet's not huge compared to some that you can buy. I think I'm probably going to stick to just smaller kind of humidity loving ones for now, and maybe at some point I'll kind of rejig it a bit. Okay, so that was a bit of a mission, but I think that is the grow lights all installed. Obviously you can tell that these ones here don't produce as much light as the mother ones, but I think it will still be more than enough. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a humidifier in there. I wanted to put a bigger one in there so I wasn't having to kind of fill it up every single day, but as you can see, it's kind of not a massive unit. So I'm going to go with kind of this relatively small one that I just filled all the water out of. I'm just going to go get some more water. Also, when you add a humidifier into a greenhouse cabinet or kind of any kind of enclosed space, although the humidity is amazing for the plants, it's a really good idea to add a fan or something like that, just to kind of help, firstly, the humidity kind of flow throughout the environment, but also to prevent things like mildew, builds up of kind of moisture and mold and stuff like that. And yeah, that also helps to keep your plants happy. I can't speak today, so I'm just going to carry on putting this all together. I've also got a little temperature and humidity meter that I really want to put on the door. I'm trying to work out how I'd be able to do that because obviously the door's glass. Again, I might be able to use the double-sided tape, but I just need to make sure that I leave the top and the bottom uncovered because that's where it kind of gets all its information from. So how am I going to do this? So yeah, I'm hoping when I peel all of that off, I should just be able to stick it to the door. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. Okay, so you can see the tape, but it has worked. And the other really annoying thing that I'm gonna have to do, like if you've got kind of an IKEA greenhouse or one that's really well sealed with kind of a metal frame, you probably won't have to do this, but just because I've got a few gaps coming down some of the sides, I'm going to use, it's kind of like a draft excluder shower seal thing, just to kind of make sure that it's a bit more of a contained space, because otherwise all the air is going to be getting in and it's going to kind of be a bit pointless having the space contained as a greenhouse cabinet, if that makes any sense at all. Awesome. Okay, so now all that's left is to add the plants. I think I'm done. I'm really happy with it. I kind of started off trying to be quite organised up here, and that's kind of got less and less as it goes down, but I kind of love how it's quite kind of wild and jungly. The one thing I do just want to do is I want to just leave it for half an hour or so and then come back and check it, because my humidifier is, although it's making all the right sounds, it doesn't actually look like it's producing any humidity at the moment. So obviously I'll be able to tell because of my little gauge up there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it for half an hour, then I will come back and I will give you a full tour. So I'm actually filming this the next day. A few things went wrong that I will walk you through, and I'm gonna give you a little plant tour as well. But this is the final thing. I'm honestly over the moon with it. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, I'm so happy with it. But as I said yesterday, the humidifier that I put in there, the little one, it basically just wasn't producing any humidity. I left it for half an hour and it wasn't doing anything. So I decided to put my massive Levoit one in there, which is basically, I've only ever used it for kind of my main plant rooms and kind of bigger spaces. And I kind of used it to test whether or not the seals that I fitted were going to work. And the good thing is they do, they hold the humidity really well. But it kind of created quite a lot of problems. There was one point when I was trying to film yesterday and I opened the door and all the water had just kind of collected at the bottom. So that was not ideal. Very annoying though, because I literally rewired a plug to put it in there. I was very proud of myself for doing that. But yeah, so what I've done at the moment, let's start at the top actually. I'll start at the top and kind of take you down. So on top, I've put my golden pothos plant, which, as you know, I absolutely love. It is one of my all-time favorites. I know it's not particularly rare, but I just think it's such a beautiful plant. It's so fast growing and yeah, I love it. So I've moved that one here for now. And then I've got one of my Anthurium clarinerviums up here, which is one of the ones that was really badly hit by thrips. You can still kind of see on some leaves, but also she's just doing brilliantly now. Like you can also see up there, there's a new little one about to come through. So yeah, and that is a new leaf, and this is a relatively new leaf. So yeah, I think she will be very happy there. And then I've got a Hoya gracilis here, which where was that before? That was on just a windowsill before, but again, this, oh, sorry, my battery just told me it's about to die. Whoops. Because this is a clear ceiling conservatory, I feel like it'll get really good light there. But moving into the unit, I'm actually just going to turn the fan off because I feel like that might be a little bit annoying. Oh my God, there we go. So, catch my breath. So at the top here, I'll start at the back. I've got a Hoya australis lisa. Australis, that's how you meant to say it, sorry. Hoya australis lisa. And then I've got a fishbone cactus, which although I know a lot of cacti and succulents don't like much humidity, this one actually really, really likes it. So it's also quite a highlight plant. So I'm thinking it's going to be really happy in that spot. Well, at least I hope it will be. And as you can see as well, I've kind of made a little stand for the three at the back with just kind of clear, I think they're actually orchid pots, but yeah, just little clear plastic pots, and kind of then it just adds a little bit of dimension there. It means I can get more in. And then I've got Hoya Crimson Queen here. Sorry, I can't get my words out today. And I put her in the unit. Actually, before I'd set anything up, I was just kind of playing about with ideas and stuff. And I put her in there a few days ago. And although this does get good light in here, like this room is very light, she's just started kind of chasing a little bit and now has got those little baby leaves coming out. So I'm hoping she'll kind of fill out a bit in here. God, I can literally feel the humidity coming out of here. It's crazy. In terms of humidity at the moment, I'm just putting I've put some propagations in here that I'll show you in a minute. And this was just a boiling cup of water that I put next to the fan to kind of help circulate some of the humidity until I figure out another system, because as I say, the other one broke, but is how it is. So here I've got a variegated aloe vera, and I know they're not massive fans of loads of humidity, but they're highlight plants, and she's been by my humidifier for a while now. So I'm kind of thinking that she'll do pretty well there, but I'm just going to obviously monitor them all in their new environment and just kind of see how it goes. But that one as well, if you watched my very first plant room tour probably about 10 months ago now, she was literally just a teeny tiny little leaf cutting that I'd got kind of from a mother plant. I just found it in the soil and planted it up. And now she's a proper little kind of well-established plant. So yeah, I'm so proud of that one. And here I've got my Alocasia Silver Dragon, another plant that I just absolutely adore. It's not one of my kind of biggest, most fancy plants, but I just absolutely love her. Oh, and you can see she's got another little, new leaf there. I know I'm like losing what do you call it, hand-eye coordination when I'm looking at things through my phone lens. I can't kind of tell where I'm going, but yes, that is Alocasia Silver Dragon, and again loves humidity, fairly high lights, so I think this is going to be a really good spot. And then this is my Philodendron verrucosum, the little one that was really badly hit with spider mites recently. You can still see quite a lot of the damage on there. Touch wood, she's been completely free of them for about 6 weeks now. I want to say it was about 6 weeks ago, and it's also given me this lovely new leaf recently. So yeah, also spider mites obviously hate humidity, so not that I would have put her in there if there were still any, but that's kind of an environment where they're not as likely, not saying it's impossible, but not as likely to kind of reproduce and spread. But yes, and then this is one of my little Anthurium clarinervium babies, one of the ones that I grew from seed and potted up in sphagnum moss quite recently. I mean, I say quite recently, probably a month ago or so now, but you can tell like as she's getting bigger, she's kind of starting to develop those kind of classic clarinervium, like that, clarinervium veins. And I'm still so interested to know what she's crossed with, if anything. Like if anyone watching this, if any of you have kind of had experience with creating little hybrid anthuriums, then please do let me know your thoughts, because I'm trying to kind of guess what I think she might be, and right now I'm not quite sure. It could be, as I say, too soon to tell, but if anybody has any theories, do let me know. I would be very, very interested to know your thoughts. And then here I've got another little verrucosum, which again, the last time I showed you this one, I think didn't even have any leaves. It was literally just, I guess you would kind of say a top cutting, but it was a top cutting with no leaves at all, that I literally just stuck in water when my big one upstairs wasn't doing well, and I kind of just thought, oh, we'll see what happens. And this is what's happened. She's produced a whole new little plant. And yeah, I mean, I just love varicosums so much. I'm not sure how long, I'm not sure when I put her in sphagnum moss, but I can't remember, but probably a month ago or something, but she's just kind of flown since then. So hopefully she'll be looking like that soon. And then here I've got my jewel orchid. This one's a Makoda's Petola. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It's how it's written, and it's kind of what I have said, Makoda's Petola. But yeah, it's just the most stunning plant. I don't know, you can never tell. The camera honestly does not do it justice. And especially my shaky hands, you can't really see, but it's so kind of glittery and glimmery and shimmery and beautiful. So yeah, absolutely adore that plant. Oh, actually, yeah, it looks so pretty there. It's also, I was going to say lightning jewel orchid is what it's known as, and you can totally see why. But yeah, so that is that top shelf that is maybe slightly more organized than the rest, but I'm gonna move down here, and this is my Philodendron Brandthianum, which is one of my favorite plants. I love all of them, to be honest, but this one, I just love plants with kind of a silvery blue tint to their leaves. And this one actually was quite a lot bigger until a few days ago, and I gave her a really good chop back. Yeah, you can see down there where I cut her. She basically had just become quite leggy, like she had this big stretch of stem that didn't have any leaves on it, but had loads of nodes. So I took a couple of leaf cuttings and just some wet stick cuttings and made a little perlite propagation box. If it sounds like I'm panting, I'm so warm. I'm stupidly wearing a jumper, and this room is literally, it's a conservatory, and it's really warm, and now I'm stepping into the humidity and I'm very hot. So yes, but that is my Philodendron Brandthianum. Moving over here, that is, this is a Philodendron melanochrysum. I don't know how you're meant to say it, but I've always said melanochrysum. This is one of the ones that I had to take cuttings from because it was hit so badly by thrips, and I was so worried about it. I was really worried about all of them, but this one has actually, I mean, it's probably done the best so far of all of them. It's got that kind of gorgeous mother leaf, but some really lovely, oh, and another one coming there, lovely new growth here. So this one probably won't be able to stay in here for that long if it's going to get much bigger. That's the only thing, and why I said I was considering maybe taking a middle shelf out for a while, because it's kind of deceivingly small, and that's not a big plant, but it's not gonna survive in here for too long if it keeps growing. So yes, that is that one. And then here I've got a Syngonium albo. Again, I potted this one up fairly recently. I actually potted up 2 cuttings from my mother plant downstairs, and the one here that I've chopped back, the leaf kind of turned quite yellow, and I thought I'm just gonna give it the chop. But you can see I cut it just above where there's a new, come on camera focus, new little growth point. So I'm really hoping that that's gonna come back in soon. But yeah, again, I mean, this was my favorite cutting. This, I wasn't even planning to chop and propagate this plant, and then I saw this section come through and I was like, it's so perfect, that gorgeous balance of white and green, because for so long my mother plant was only giving me white, and I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I chopped her all the way back, and now I've got this lovely balance that I really want to try and preserve. So yeah, I'm hoping that if I kind of keep chopping, propagating, and just kind of monitoring that growth there, then hopefully I'll be able to kind of find a way to keep it going healthily but still beautifully. And then here I've got a Hoya parasitica black margin, which I absolutely love. This Hoya, I know it's not, again, particularly rare or anything, but I just absolutely love it. I know there's been such a massive kind of craze for Hoyas in the last few months, or last kind of 6 months, and for so long I just didn't get it. I mean, there's still a few that I'm a bit like meh, but I just really didn't get it. And then I had a couple, I've got a couple downstairs that I've showed you before, but I got this, was it this one? No, it was the Gracilis one up here. I got that one, and then I was like, oh, I absolutely love it. And then I just started buying more and more, and now I've got quite a few of them. But this one, I think it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I love that plant. Love them all, but love that plant. And then this is the Pilia peperomioides that I chopped up for my care video quite recently. And as you can see, she's rooting already, which, oh, there we go, is really great. As I said, I've just decided to put kind of quite a few water propagations in there with the rest of the plants, just for now until I sort the humidity situation out, just kind of help to boost it a bit, because obviously the water will evaporate and help create a really nice humid environment for all of the plants. But yes, and then this is a Peperomia rosso that again I showed you in my how to propagate Peperomia video, and this is one of the ones that, to be honest, I have slightly neglected, and you can tell by kind of the tips there, she hasn't had the best humidity, and I've been a little bit patchy with my watering. There's been quite a few times where the soil's dried out and I've just kind of forgotten about her, which I know is not good, but I feel like if she's in here, firstly, she'll have great humidity, really good light, and I will also be kind of more vigilant about watering her because she's in with the others, and I'll kind of keep on top of it a bit better. But yes, moving down, this is my pride and joy, my Anthurium veitchii, which, oh my God, you guys know how much I love this plant because I bang on about it all the time, but it is just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plant. And yeah, I've had it down in my room with me for quite a while, and although I'm kind of sad that it's not going to be down with me and I won't be able to kind of stare at it 24/7, I think this is a good place for it. I think it's going to be really happy under the lights with the extra humidity and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what it does. It's growing so quickly. Like, I'm honestly so surprised at how fast it is. Like, this is a new leaf. Was it this one? Maybe this was one of the other new leaves. But yeah, some of my other anthuriums are so slow, and this one compared to them has just been crazy. So yes, that is my veitchii. And then here I've got a little variegated spider plant, which I absolutely love. And personally, I think they're one of the easiest plants. I know quite a few people have said otherwise, but this is a plant that for me just absolutely thrives on neglect. I water it maybe once. I mean, I don't know, like when the soil's dry, but if it goes kind of a week extra without water, this one's never complained. So yeah, and I also just love the texture of it. Like, if you look at it amongst all the other plants, I just think it looks so pretty, and yeah, I love this plant. It's also really air purifying, so all the good things. And then, oh God, so this one at the back here is a fairly recent addition. Am I going to be able to remember the name of it? Athanan, oh God, I don't know. I know it starts with an A and it's got a nan in there somewhere, and the variety is known as Party Time, but isn't it just stunning? It's absolutely beautiful. I got this from Johnny, who's the bearded plantaholic on Instagram. I only recently discovered his shop and I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. I must buy all the things. So I also got a really beautiful syngonium from him. But yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really hoping it's going to do well in there. I'll pop all the names on the screen of everything as well. Oh, sorry, I just need to give my hand a break. It's going to sleep. I've just realised I can see myself in the reflection. Hello. Losing my mind. So this is a Monstera alboborsigiana, which is propagating in water at the moment and is probably pretty much ready to be potted up. But again, as I say, water propagations, extra humidity, all the good stuff. A lot of propagations as well do a lot better and kind of propagate a lot faster if they've got extra humidity. So I thought it was not a bad idea to kind of add some of them in there. But yeah, this is one I kind of chopped to try and preserve some variegation, and this is kind of very splashy and marbled and not high, but I'm hoping the stem, oh yeah, the stem's got some white on it, so can you see? Yeah, so I think it's going to do better than the mother plant, because the mother plant was almost completely green at that point. So yeah, and then here I've got a Hoya, oh, what's this? Hoya croniana, I think, Hoya croniana splash. Which again, still quite a young plant, only potted it up fairly recently, but it's just lovely. I love the shape of its leaves. They're kind of like little raindrops. But yes. And then, oh God, dead arm again. Right, I'm switching arms. This is another one of my little Anthurium clarinervium babies, which I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see a lot clearer on here actually. It's got two heads on this bit, which is going to turn into hopefully two lovely little leaves. This one and the other one aren't doing as well as that one up there, that one I showed you. Just I don't know why. I think obviously it's partly just genetics, but their conditions have been more or less identical. The only thing that is different from them is that I soaked that one up there in hydrogen peroxide before I planted it, and I don't really think it's a coincidence that that's doing better. I'm actually tempted to give this one a water with some hydrogen peroxide kind of diluted at some point, just because it's really great for seed germination, it's really good for root development, all that good stuff. So yeah, but that is her for now. And then I've got Hoya Waiatii Tricolour here, which, oh, I've kind of, because I've piled so much in, I don't want to knock anything out. But yes, that is that one. Really lovely plant, again, fairly young. My mother plant is downstairs, that I've showed you before. And then finally, I've got my Peperomia Frost, which literally in the last few weeks has just taken off. Again, this is one that I propagated and I've shown you quite a few times, but I don't know what it is. I actually bottom watered this one, and I know I've said before I've had really mixed feelings about bottom watering, but I think just because the foliage is so thick at the top, when I've been watering it from the top, it hasn't been getting kind of all the way through to the soil in the way that it needs, which kind of makes me think I might divide this plant at some point soon because it's getting a bit crazy. But yeah, I gave it a good soak for kind of 20 minutes and it's just gone poof. It's like it's suddenly kind of come to life. So yeah, what I was going to say as well is, just because I know that I currently haven't got trays apart from that one, which is actually a little goo pudding pot. But I haven't got trays in here for many of the plants. I'm gonna probably add some trays in, and then when I water, I won't have to kind of take them all individually out, apart from obviously the ones in pots that will need to drain. And then I'll be able to just kind of let them drain in their trays, and also then they'll act as a humidifier for each other. The other thing that I was thinking of doing as well is putting my heat mats down here, and maybe adding another grow light and putting some kind of propagations, and I can put my prop boxes in there. But then also then if I just leave cups of water on my heat mat, that is obviously going to help to increase the humidity for it anyway. But yeah, so that is my kind of setup as for now. Obviously there's a few things that are going to need to be changed in regards to the light up there. I'm going to try and kind of properly fix that and get my friend to help me with that, and the humidity situation. But for now, I think it's going to be absolutely fine. I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. Oh, the other thing that I changed is the lights that I previously just stuck on before. I realised that I should have just cable tied them to these bars. So I did that as well, just for kind of extra security. But yeah, that's pretty much, that's the gist of it. And as I say, I'm really, really, really chuffed with it, and I think it looks absolutely lovely, and I think the plants are going to be really happy in there. Woohoo! At some point, I really want to get an absolutely massive one. I would love to get one that just kind of covered the whole wall and make an absolute jungle in there, with kind of maybe like a really wild middle bit with like moss up the back wall, and have all my aroids in there. These are all my dreams, and hopefully at some point I will be able to make them happen. But for now, this is this. And yeah, I really, really hope that this video was useful. I hope maybe some of you learnt from some of the mistakes that I made, such as putting a massive humidifier in there with these plants. I'll put some clips in, if I haven't already, in this video, of some of the nightmares that happened when I was trying to film yesterday. But yeah, I really, really hope that this video was useful. If it was, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Hey!